recording. I started the recording. So hi, nice to meet you, everyone. And because we are recording this, Corinne, maybe we'll start with a quick intro, although we all know you here, but maybe you can introduce yourself just for the audience or for people who are going to watch the recording.
People who are going to watch the recording, I'm a business and executive coach who have been practicing coaching and training for the past 23 years, I think, at the moment. And in addition to coaching, I also like to mention that I'm a European citizen with a French passport, who has been living in Prague for the past 26 years soon. And I had the pleasure to meet Limor at the Power to Fly Diversity Summit, if I'm not mistaken, back in February. We spoke and she kindly invited me to join the mentoring program that she's leading and organizing for Power to Fly. And here I am. One thing led to another. 2 weeks ago, I had the pleasure to present a topic which is actually pretty dear to my heart, which is connecting. And especially in a time of pandemic, connecting when we have difficulties getting close to each other. And I shared with the audience 3 challenges, which hopefully we can have some feedback today, because the whole audience were offered the chance to take part in 3 challenges. And today is the follow-up and the result of these challenges.
Yeah, and we have here Luciana. I don't remember if Luciana participated last time or not. So welcome, first of all, Luciana.
Welcome, Luciana. We would like everybody to be on camera and on mute, unless you'd rather be mute if you have some kind of background noise, but this is going to be an interactive, hopefully as much as possible, interactive session. Hi, Luciana. Welcome.
Hi, Luciana. Where are you calling from?
I'm from Argentina.
Oh, nice. And this is your first time, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So how did you, yes, Angela?
Angela, we don't hear you.
Yeah, it's my first time as well.
You were not there last time?
No.
Oh, it's a different Angela.
So maybe, Corinne, what we can do, because we haven't seen, we didn't have the video of the participant last time. So maybe you can share again. Do you have the slides where you can show at least?
Hold on. Before we get there, I hear you. So ladies, Angela, my apology, because last time it was a different system, so I only saw some names, and I tried to keep track of some of them. So I thought you were the other Angela who came 2 weeks ago. So briefly, before I'm going to speak about the topic, what would be nice, and we can wait 2 minutes, but you're going to start. I would like everyone, we're going to start with Limor, to briefly introduce yourself and also tell us what is your motivation to join us today. So at least we have a bit of a feeling, and hopefully I can, because Limor is going to participate like she always does, we can contribute all to this hopefully interactive session. So we have more people joining, so we can have a chance to let them settle, and then they can speak. So Limor, you want to tell us briefly who you are and what is your motivation?
Absolutely. I'll start. Yeah. So hi, everyone. My name is Limor. I live in Israel. I recently returned here from the United States. So I used to live in the United States for 9 years and got back here to my home country about a year ago. My background is engineering and engineering leadership. I led engineering teams and organizations for many years. And I know Power to Fly actually as being a client of them. And I became working with them when I came back here. And I created, as Corinne mentioned, I created a mentorship program for women to support women in their career journey. And very, very happy to be here. And the reason I'm here, obviously, I'm hosting this call, and I'm always looking for opportunities to have calls with Corinne because she's incredible.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's me.
Thank you, Limor. Yes, if it wasn't for you, I will not be here today. So really a big thank. Plus, she's also she has my back on the technical side, but luckily it's Zoom today. So now we can see everybody. So Marta, you want to tell us who you are and what is your motivation? Again, for everyone, let's keep every participation 1-2 minutes so we can all speak more.
Okay. So hi, I'm Marta. I'm from Bydgoszcz, Poland. I was born and raised there, and I also lived there since about 8 years now, since I came back from studying in Poznań, essentially. I'm a political scientist turned translator, which is a whole different story. Hopefully I'll be able to talk about it maybe next time. We'll see. And well, about my motivation, I've been working remotely for about a year now, and I felt like it started to take a bit of a toll on me. So yeah, I'm quite excited about joining this event and the challenges that we were given.
Oh,
So
you're
thanks,
so
Karine.
you're excited to share
To take part in this whole event, also to share some of my experiences from the challenges I took. Yeah, so
Okay.
thanks for inviting me, Karine.
It's always a pleasure. Now, I understand that Angela and Luciana were not there last time. So, Simona, you were there last time. You want to share with us who you are and what is your motivation to join again?
Okay. Hi, I'm Simona. I'm sending my greetings from Prague, from Czech Republic. I'm working for the Ministry of Justice here in Prague, and I also recently graduated from the University of Economics in Prague. And my motivation is quite simple because I like people, and I really miss the multicultural environment because I had the opportunity to go to the enrichment Fulbright visiting research stay in Chicago last year, and I was working also for the European Commission. So that's why I'm here, and as maybe as all the people during these times, it's really challenging to stay sane during COVID pandemic. So I just want to get to know new people and stay connected. Yeah.
Very nice. Want to get to know. So, ladies, since you're new, it would be nice still that you introduce yourself and tell us what motivated you to join today's call. Luciana.
Hello. So, well, as I mentioned, I'm from Argentina. I work in human resources in a software development factory. And
sorry, I didn't hear. You work in human resources in
a software factory.
Software.
The company is from Rochester, New York, and it's called ITX.
IT.
ITX.
ATS?
ITX.
ITS. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I think my connection is not working quite well.
I know this is the challenge with online. You know, later on, you can all put, we're going to do a little bit of exercise later on. You're going to put your LinkedIn, your full name, your LinkedIn profile, so we can all stay in touch later on. But that's
perfect.
So
I have a meeting today with someone from Power to Fly, so I can know what you are offering, what are your services. So then I was looking in your website and I found that this was this session. So I decided to join because I found that the topic was really interesting since we are a remote first company and the pandemic was a different kind of challenge for us because we're used to work remotely, but we are not used to work to be all day inside, isolated, and work with people from different parts of the world. So each country, each location has its own context regarding the pandemic. So it was a challenge because of a lot of things that were going on within the company. So I like the topic to join and well, see what this is about. It's my first time joining this kind of event.
No, you're welcome. I just would like to understand how you find it. Did you find because someone mentioned the Power to Fly program or because mentioned what we did tonight?
No, I've participated from summits on summits and different activities from Power to Fly. I know the company for a long time, but today I met with someone to understand what services you are offering for a company. So then I
In
said,
my
what-
service.
yes, the Power to Fly services, and I was reading the website and found this badge.
Great.
Perfect. I mean, just because I think it's also useful for Limor, since she spent so much time trying to promote it, to know that actually what she put online, it's obviously accessible in Argentina.
Yeah, it's well famous here, Power to Fly. So it's at least I know them from years.
One of you is talking, the other one can put your LinkedIn on the Zoom chat so we can all stay in touch. And then also like the name of the company if you want. So Angela, tell us about you and what is your motivation for joining us today?
Hello, welcome. My name is Angela Weiland, and I reside in Raleigh, North Carolina, in the United States.
I think I have a friend who just moved there.
Oh, very nice.
I have to check.
So my role is a senior business process consultant with Blue Cross Blue Shield North Carolina, which is a health insurance company.
Yep.
Yep. And my motivation for being here is that we have recently gone through a new reorganization change, and I will be leading a virtual team, and was hoping to glean some tips and tricks and hacks of how to lead that team from a virtual perspective for a long while yet. Our company is looking at reevaluating people coming back to campus in a slow, methodical way. So even then, people are like, no, I prefer to work from home. And a good majority is now saying we like the flexibility and no commuting time in terms of staying at home. So with that in mind, how do we get more creative in terms of presenting from a virtual perspective to keep people engaged and be mindful that people do need breaks, and these back-to-back meetings with no breaks is not productive. It really takes a toll on your back and physically in general. So I just wanted to know, and just even small 1 to 2 minute breaks, even during a call, that's 30 minutes long, just so people can feel energized and get back into the mindful game.
Yeah. So and what gave you the idea to join us today?
Yeah.
Sorry?
What gave you the idea to join us today?
So it's the Power to Fly main event. I don't know, whatever it is. It's the conference, 3-day conference. So when I saw that, I saw many different speakers and different topics that really appealed to me. And I'm trying to work it into my workday schedule. So this is one of the hot topics for me going forward with my team.
Very nice. So Limo was a bit concerned that people will not see the offers. We have 2 new participants. Maybe actually being part in the middle of the summit was also helpful.
and Angela, I just wanted to mention that I led remote teams for 4 years since beginning of 2016. So I'm happy to chat with you. I'll reach out to you, and if you want to have a chat, we can talk.
Oh, yeah.
And I can share what works for my organization.
Sure.
I mean, I'm happy to help.
Yeah, so I've included my LinkedIn profile for everyone.
Amazing.
I will look at that a bit later. I mean, I'm sure that Limor can save all of that for me, because if I start to go on the chat, and I will kind of
I can
paying
save the
attention
chat.
to
I can save the chat, Corinne, and send it over for sure.
Yeah, because so we have 2 ladies who were there last week, 2 weeks ago, and 2 new ladies. So I'm just gonna briefly rephrase it to you, because I know I could show the Simona and Marta. Would you like to see the slide again, or this is not something you're interested in?
Sure,
I'm
go ahead.
okay to see.
I didn't hear the answer. Sorry, guys.
I'm okay to see it again. Hello?
That's
No
Marta.
problem on
and,
my side.
Yeah, I'm okay with it too.
So I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I just have a
No,
problem
that's
with
not
my
that.
mouse for some reason. I need to give you permission. Just a second. Give me a second.
No, I just want to make sure that I have. I'm not gonna do the video because that's gonna be. I'm just gonna go quickly as soon as Limor give me. Just so I will send it to you later on. Okay, so you will have
Yeah,
the
I gave you
the
permission, Corinne. I gave you permission.
Give me permission. Let's do that. Yeah, I should be better at this. Okay, this is much better than, because then I can see the ladies, I can see, so briefly, because I don't want to, the idea is for the ladies who did it to kind of share this. The idea is to remind us that actually, you know, because of the pandemic, you all expressed the challenges that you're facing being either isolated or either online or whatever this unexpected situation is doing to everybody. And one of my learning and experiences, even before the pandemic, but especially during the pandemic, is the crucial needs of being connected. And the more connected we are, the easier, the better we feel. So this is the PDF. Normally it was a PowerPoint, so usually I start, which you did now, which is who are you and how you're doing. So Angela, when you mentioned how to deal with virtual team, I'm sure you know that one of the first questions that is kind of useful is pretty much ask people to tell you from 1 to 10, how do they feel today?
Ah, okay.
Because now again, they cannot, because depending on the topic, and one of the things I will share is like, you might have people that might not be comfortable, or that might not be something they're going to be feeling, I don't like the word, but kind of safe to. So especially because what I will share later on, I wanted to make sure that people could handle it without feeling emotionally challenged. So in general, you lead virtual team, I mean, it's me, you might either know them or you might ask them who they are. And today, how do they feel? Do I make any sense? By the way, you're welcome to interrupt me, okay? I'm French, I have no issue with being interrupted. It's cultural. I think the Argentinian has no problem. The Polish have no problem. The Czech and the American, Israeli, they have no problem.
Yeah.
But you interrupt a Czech or you interrupt an American, it's perceived rude. Okay, so, you know, I like to briefly introduce myself with something visual. Yes, I told you that I'm a business coach with over 23 years of practice and things. Some people like to know a bit more about my personal life. Quickly, I was born in New Caledonia. Anybody knows where New Caledonia is? It's on the map. It's close to New Zealand and Australia. I grew up mainly in Paris. Most of you, I'm sure, have heard about Paris and the Eiffel Tower. Then I got the opportunity to move to New York City when I was 25 years old. So I spent 8 years in the States. I am really familiar with the American way of working. I've learned so much. I love my time in the States. You know, that was almost 30 years ago. I have to say that what's happening today is a bit more challenging for me, but it's the fantastic countries and I love it. And then I mentioned I moved to Prague 26 years ago, never thought I would stay that long, but I'm still here and I also love it. Then here is a video that I recommend you to watch. I will tell you the story briefly because the video, you can Google it later on and things. The story goes this way. There is a gentleman who walks down the street and falls into a hole. And the wall is so steep he cannot get out. A doctor passes by and he's like in the hole. He says, "Hello, sir, can you please help me?" The doctor writes a prescription, throws it into the hole and moves on. Then a priest goes by and the guy says, fathers, I'm down the hole. Can you help me? And the fathers can write very nice prayers, throw it into the hole and moves on. Then a friend walks by and he says, "Hey, Joe, it's me. Can you help me out?" And the friend jumps in the hole. And the guy says, "Are you stupid? Now we're both down here." And the friend says, "Yes, but I've been down here before and I know the way out." How do you feel when I when you hear that story? Anybody would like to share some of your impressions? I know, even those of you that heard it before. Angela, do you know the West Wing TV series?
I know of it, but I've never watched it.
Well, I have to be honest, this is how I learn about American politics.
Ah, very good.
It's taken out of one of the series.
Ah, okay.
But it's, you know, it's a 20-something years old series. So now they have more venting. So when you hear that, I mean, does it resonate in any ways about the kind of challenges that you've been dealing with? Because the next slide will be, and this is what it's important to know how people feel, because I asked the audience, you know, to remember a time when they felt like they were in a hole. Now, the idea was to think of something that is medium challenging, like not to think of the horrible hole and the horrible town, just something that pretty much at school, I should put university, at work, something that, you know, was a challenge and you felt a bit stuck. And this is when we asked the audience to share some information, and Limo was very nice to tell us about her experience. So the question that's important to ask each one of us when we feel bad is, or at least when we feel bad, how did you feel? Who helped you? What helped you? And what did you do? And those are questions that, you know, later on you can revisit those questions and think of specific time, because very often when we feel down or we feel depressed or we feel stuck because something doesn't work, we have a tendency to focus on what doesn't work and how miserable we are, which is, like I mentioned, normally all of us have had some setback, and hopefully all of us got out of the setback. And the question is, we forgot how we did it. Are you still with me?
Mm-hmm.
Any questions so far? Is it clear and easy to follow?
Yes.
Luciana, do you have any thought, any ideas on when you hear that, or this is just?
A specific an example, you mean?
Either an example or what comes to your mind when you hear that. I mean, I know because we spoke with Marta. I don't know if Simona is still around because I don't see her, but Angela,
Yeah.
I'm kind of crushing this. I mean, I'm kind of squeezing the story in a short time, but
No, what I'm thinking is about the empathy that someone that was in your position and with the same problem usually has. And sometimes there are a lot of people with great intentions, but not in the same spot, and they struggle to put themselves in that spot when trying to give advice. So they may have a lot of great ideas, they may know a lot, but you sometimes come better with someone that went through the same that you are right now.
I agree. It all depends on what works for you. The whole idea is to remember that, you know, there is always a way, hopefully, to get out of the hole. So the way I wanted to, you know, illustrate that story is that one way to feel better when we feel that we are down in a situation that is difficult is to connect to ourselves and to others. And at that point, I was asking the audience to kind of share some example of how do they connect to themselves. So I don't know if Simona's still around or she disappeared.
She's here. I mean, she's muted, but she's here.
Okay, so Simona.
I just unmute.
Okay, no, just so anyone who would like to share, some of you, I know we mentioned it before, but do you have any, for lack of a better word, like ways of method that usually you apply or you practice to connect to yourself? Because in this kind of really challenging time, like we mentioned, you know, we feel a bit isolated. Marta said that she's being remote for 2 years. You know, Angela is like, how do you make sure that you are at least feeling good yourself? Anybody has some ways? Or
I shared last time that I enjoy, you know, running, and this is the best way for me to really connect with myself and get creative, to think about different things, and I try to do that as much as I can. And just on the weekend, I like to go to the beach and run on the beach. So
Lucky you, you get a beach around the corner.
Yeah, after 9 years in the US with no beach around, I really try to take advantage of it. Yeah, for sure. By the way, we have a new person joining us today, Samantha from Germany. Welcome, Samantha.
Welcome. I don't think we met her before either.
Hello.
Do you have a camera or do you also have camera?
Oh, wait. Yes, I'm just connecting. Can you see me?
Not yet, but
Yes,
I
we
hopefully
do.
will.
Now?
Yes, I saw you.
Yes, I see
You
you,
saw me?
Samantha.
You can see me?
Yeah, you were not there last time, were you?
No, I've never visited your site yet. I just learned about it recently, and I just had been receiving the invitation to your event right now. So I hook up spontaneously.
It's a
Thank
very
you for
good
having
idea.
me.
I hope you're going to be. So I cannot make an introduction, which you can have the PDF later on. And right now
Great.
we're speaking about how do we connect to ourselves. So Limor shared her way to connect to herself by running. I will briefly tell you what other people said. You can do some kind of walking in nature. You can do some meditation, anything that you can take a hot bath. You can have a nice cup of tea, anything that helps you feel better. Okay, sorry. This is where I am. This is where I was trying to get the pictures of each one of you and I got that. So the other thing that we will speak now, because that's the purpose of the program, is how do you connect to others? Anybody has an idea? How do you connect to others? In addition to joining the Power to Fly site and joining today's session, that's a great way to connect to others.
Yeah, my idea is that, for instance, if I like going to run, that I involve other people, and yeah, they feel inspired probably. And it's the same to myself. So if I see a picture of somebody who's growing a flower, I might reciprocate and yeah, also look at my beautiful flowers that I've been growing and send a picture back or something.
Very nice idea. So you're going to be fitting right in. The way I wanted to present that topic was I had 3 challenges to connect. And the first one is what you described, is smiling. I'm sure you all know that when actually, if I ask you right now, even Simona, who is, no camera, to just get into a huge smile, thinking about something positive, either the running, either the flowers, something happy that will make you feel really good about yourself. And by the way, Angela, that's another thing you can do when you do your remote session, just to make people start to get a cup of tea and just smile either at the camera, or if you have the chance to have a window with some view outside, just smile, because smiling really helps you feel better. And then we think, and the challenge for smiling was to either find ways to remind yourself to smile every day. But you can put some post-it on your house. Just, some people, I was mentioning, they learn languages like this. You put a little, I don't have the post-it here. You take a little post-it and then you put this, something that makes you happy. I spoke here. I am again on the wrong thing when I'm trying to get this out. Sorry, ladies. It's over here. It's over here. It's over here. The little post-it, you put the little smiley everywhere, and you just remind yourself to smile every day. That was the first challenge. The second challenge, and that was one of the most challenging questions for some people, is to reach out. And the outreach challenge was for the participant to reach out to 50 people in 1 week. So we're going to discuss that next after we think. And the benefit again is to remind ourselves that we are social creature. Actually, I don't like the word social distancing, because it's not it's more physical distancing, and the physical distancing creates the social distancing. But the objective of protecting ourselves is not to distance ourselves socially from people, but physically. And the third challenge was gratitude. So for each challenge, I asked the audience what everything's meant for them and what they think they will be more comfortable doing. And then at the end of the presentation, the question was, what will you do? And the participant had to choose at least one challenge. And today, the idea was for those of the ladies who participated and did some challenges to share their results. So that's what we're going to do as soon as things. So anybody has a question so far, especially the ladies who were not there last time? Is it clear? Is it simple? Is it easy? And then, you don't know how to smile. This is a great, I have one. It's not that this one because mine, I cannot catch her like this. But I figured, you're going to end up a presentation with a huge smile. This is it. And then the information. So I'm going to stop sharing. How does it work now? Oh, stop share. It's on top. Okay. Any question? So we are very lucky. We have at least 2 participants who whether, maybe Limo was there. So those of you who did attend and did some challenges, which one did you choose and what were the results? Marta, which one did you choose?
Okay, so I unmute myself for now. Pretty much all 3 of them.
Perfect. That's the main idea if you
yeah.
can.
Yeah. As for smiling, that wasn't actually a huge challenge for me. I'm a natural when it comes to smiling at people, smiling during conversations, either with my coworkers or even people on the streets. It's more difficult now to see it through the mask, but you can always see the eyes, whether they are glowing or not exactly. As for the gratitude challenge, I've already done the one you proposed, Karin, some time ago, but what I have here is a guided gratitude journal, which I more or less consistently try to fill out and answer the prompts that are there. It's also great that you don't have a completely blank page. Your thoughts are guided toward that gratitude, the positives that you experienced during the day. So it's working quite well. I have to admit that the biggest challenge was to reach out to 50 people. I did manage to reach out to several, but not 50. Actually,
Okay, hold on, Marta. I also mentioned that you can reach out to as many as you like. So how many people did you reach out to?
More than 10, probably. More than
Very
10,
nice.
probably.
Congratulations. The idea is to reach out
but
to some.
not 50.
That's okay. You still have time. There's a whole month of April.
Yeah, sure. There was one opportunity actually last Saturday that I'm really sorry I didn't manage to participate in. If you know Lunch Club, they had...
I'm the one who recommended to you because Limo recommended to me.
We love it.
Yeah.
We love Lunch Club.
But I don't know if the other ladies
We'll tell you later,
it.
Angela. Don't worry about it.
They had like 15-minute meetups, like throughout Saturday. I told myself I won't open my laptop throughout the Easter weekend. So I tried to connect via my cell phone, and I don't know why it didn't work. It didn't work through the mobile app, but just a great event I wanted to mention to you, because maybe some of the ladies would like to do it one day.
Don't worry, we will speak about this.
Now, yeah, and Marta, a great opportunity.
They're doing it regularly. They're doing it regularly. So don't worry about missing the Easter one. They're doing it now regularly. Perfect. Congratulations. This is the perfect way to do. So those of you who look like, what the hell is she talking about? Maybe Limo, you want to tell us what the lunch club is, since it was your idea initially.
Hey, I don't know, I don't take credit of Lunch Club, but I'm using it since June 2020. And I share the link here that you can join because it's an invite-only platform. It is incredible. Basically, you can meet several people, one or more, for 45 minutes each. Typically, the matching is done based on the profile. You kind of, create a profile, describe things about yourself and some interest that you have. And based on that, they try to match you with people. The matching algorithm is not bad at all. And you meet people every week. I do that, for since June, basically.
And you
it's
can
really
even
great.
choose the city you want to meet people in. And depending on the time you choose, you have also different continent, because obviously if you choose lunchtime, Europe time, you don't have, Californian people at 6 in the morning. So, or even New Yorkers. But I mean, it is a great way to connect and to get out of your comfort zone to reach out to people. So well done, Marta. And I really like your gratitude journal. I think this is a great idea. Now, Simona, you want to share with us one of your results of the challenges? Did you do any?
Yeah, of course. I took all of 3 of them.
Congratulations.
Regarding smiling, I tried to find the reason to smile for every day. So it was, I would say, the easiest one. Gratitude. Recently, I had a problem with falling asleep. So I was really grateful that during the last month, it was getting better. So I was really grateful for that. And I was also grateful for the really nice weather that spring just started, and I could go out with my fiance. So I was really grateful for it. And I also got in touch with my former colleagues from Brussels, and I also contacted my colleagues and friends in Chicago. I wish them happy Easter, and it was about, I would say, maybe 30 or maybe more people. So I was really happy to know that they are safe and stay healthy during this pandemic, and we are still in touch. And I also had a really nice phone call with them, so I could practice my English and my French also. So yeah, it was a really nice challenge for me. And Karen, I'm really grateful for these tips. Thank you.
My pleasure, but I'm really glad you did it, because I took it before, of course, I offered it. And for those of you who were not there last time, Limo will send you the PowerPoint presentation on a PDF, and also the 3 challenges as an exercise, because I got these 3 challenges from somewhere. I didn't make them up. I mean, you make them up in the sense that I know they work, but then the whole setup and structure, somebody else nicely wrote it. I was shocked the first time I heard this outreach of 50 people. And like I always mention, luckily this is the week I got into the Power to Fly Summit. So in 1 week, I met 20 people, because it doesn't have to be somebody that you knew before. The lunch club can fit into that reaching out, because the idea is to talk to someone. The idea is, or to reconnect with someone. So either somebody new, you have a lunch club, or during the summit, those of you who did Power to Fly, there is the networking event, which is where I met the other Angela. So Angela, this is where I got confused, because I met another Angela online. So, so, and then also I was mentioning, I made different lists. I made a list of friends that I really like, but I'm not in touch with all of them. And I don't consider Facebook a way to stay in touch unless you literally follow up on them. And then I made a list of business contacts that I also liked, but I didn't do this. And then what I mentioned, I said, which was Simon, I said, you just connect and said, guys, we haven't been in touch for a while. I hope you're doing okay. That's all it takes. Now, obviously, if you want to tell more, you're welcome. But the benefit in that sense of the pandemic, people appreciate that you reach out. And for those of you who celebrate Easter, I also took the time to send some nice Easter message. Obviously, I'd rather do that. And this is also the benefit of WhatsApp. I do it on the computer. I put the nice little pictures, which is on email, it's a bit dry. If you just say Happy Easter on email, it's which is if you put it on WhatsApp with the nice little pictures that you put together, people like it. The whole idea is to continuing generating and cultivating a relationship. Now on this, I have to say that yesterday I attended the webinar, and the whole topic was how to get out of social media. Now, since they were all younger than me, I was wondering, wow, how to do that? And the gentleman mentioned something that I felt, he said, you know, instead of doing this social media thing when you get 1,000 friends and nobody knows, he said, I nurture and cultivate my relationships. And I think this is part of this pandemic for me learning, is that I don't need 1,000 friends on Facebook. Actually, I'm trying not to have 1,000 friends on Facebook, because it's way too many people on Facebook. And I don't think people care about me if I'm one of the 1,000 that they have. I'm doing more of this online session where you try to stay in touch. And that's also why I did this open follow-up session, so you can talk. So now that I did all that talking, I want to hear from those of you who just saw briefly the presentation, if any one of these challenges appeals to you. I mean, I'm assuming smiling is okay for all of you, right? Now, do you consciously smile? Okay, do you consciously sometimes smile thinking, oh, if I keep on making these faces, nobody's going to like me or nobody's going to appreciate me? So sometimes it has to be conscious.
I have a funny story to say about this. So
Yes.
as you know me, Corinne, I smile all the time. And you know, in one of my gym workouts, I remember this challenge. I said, okay, I'm gonna smile to someone. So I smile at someone that I see all the time, but we never talk. You know, I don't know this person, but you know, but I see him. I smiled at him and he looked at me in a weird face. I guess he, you know, it was okay, but he was like, I think he didn't really, you know why am I doing that? Or
and that's also what I spoke last time. It's about culture. You know, when I was in the States, I smiled. I came back to Europe a little bit less, and then when I was, you know, in the Czech Republic, and I'm like, no offense, Simona, okay, but 25 years ago, the Czech didn't smile so much. Then when I asked my teacher, she said, why should I smile if I don't feel like it? And I think this is useful to remember, because we don't always feel like smiling. You know, you're depressed, you haven't seen anybody for a while in physical things. Unfortunately, the less you smile, the more depressed you get. And the more depressed you get, the less people want to be around you, even online. So smiling needs to be cultivated. Now, gratitude. How many of you practice gratitude on a regular basis? Okay, Marta, we know. Get out of the... Angela, tell us what kind of gratitude practice you have, if you don't mind sharing.
Sure. So for me, it's part of my meditation that I've recently developed in terms of doing meditation. So I start off with more like a gratitude prayer, if you will, at the beginning. So, and then I go into meditation.
Can I ask, and again, you don't have to answer, this is too personal, but how often do you meditate, and when and why?
So for me, since it's brand new, I'm trying to get a regular cadence about doing it. So it's only been a few times a week, but I notice the difference when I do it, that it's much more of a stress reliever for me. And also, I tend to do it when the house is quiet, when the dogs are still in their beds and my husband's sleeping and I'm up at the crack of dawn. That's when I tend to do it by myself. And yeah, that's when the house is most quiet.
When did you get started?
Just a few weeks ago. I'm still new.
And what prompted you to do it? And again, you don't have to answer. This is too personal.
Oh, no. No, at our company, Blue Cross and Blue Shield in North Carolina, we have a mental health 30-minute break. It's usually on Mondays from like 12 to 12:30, and a certified behavioralist is on the call, and there's a moderator, and they take you through a meditation.
Sorry, I think somebody has some kids in the background. Can you mute yourself? Is it Samantha? Thank you. Sorry, Angela.
No, it's okay. So that's when I originally got started, and they do it on Mondays, like from 12 to 12:30, and it's a virtual online event. And it can be pretty popular depending on, people's free time and things like that. But for 5,100 employees and for people to be able to get on a call, and I'm not saying all people get on the call, I'm just saying that the offering is there for the entire company to get on the call.
Can I ask, how do you do it, like behind your computer at work? Because I mean, it usually requires a bit of quiet time. So how do they get 5,000 people pretty much getting quiet at the same time?
No, so I'm saying it's offered to 5,100 people, not that I've seen it where it's a couple hundred people are on the call. So of course everyone's muted and there's one person leading the meditation.
Now, how many of you practice meditation? Nobody. How many of you have heard of meditation? Simona? Simona, because I don't see your face. So Simona,
I just wanted to say that I started meditation last year because of my sleeping problems and problems with falling asleep, and it was really helpful for me. And I'm using the Spotify playlist with relaxed melodies, and there is also an app with these specific techniques, and I'm using it before I go to bed, and it's really helpful for me. And what I started to practice is also taking regularly Epsom salt bath, if you know what is it. Because there is a lot of magnesium, and there are a lot of benefits both for our body and for our mind. So the baths are really helpful for me too.
Did you all understand what she's mentioning? The Epsom salt, and that's definitely what. So those of you who don't do or haven't practiced, I got into this in 2011. I remember exactly July 2011. And if I'm honest, this is one of the time when I felt like I was falling into a hole and nothing could get me out of it because of the situation. The idea might not be to meditate. The idea will be for anybody to take 10 to 15 minutes of quiet time, just to be with yourself. Now, how you use that time, it's up to you. We have a tendency to have thought on everything. So for some people, meditation is too challenging. When possible, it's nice to be outside or facing some kind of nature. It's nicer than facing your wall or facing your computer. Just take the time. Morning, I like morning because this is what works for me. You take a cup of tea or a nice cup of coffee, and you give yourself time to be with yourself. That's the connecting to yourself part. And for those that have sleeping challenge, is great. For those who have any kind of stress issue, it's great. It's also great, period, for your well-being. Now, granted, there are plenty of apps, plenty of this. Some people say, well, I cannot close my eyes, I cannot do this. Doesn't matter how you do it. The idea is to spend some time with you in a quiet space. And I recommend that you practice. If it's every week, it's good. I do it every morning, except weekends. Weekends, I read in bed. I don't get up and meditate, but I do have also the regular thing, and it helped me stay centered. Gratitude. Anybody else has gratitudes practice? Luciana, Samantha? Do you see the benefit of gratitude?
Would you like me to talk? Yes, I am very grateful every morning, and I practice that really also with my kids and with my friends. And I share gratitude all of the time, basically, by saying thanks and writing thank you. And also, I would like to show more gratitude by also sending out postcards, for instance, to have something at hand, not only a mail or something. But this is a big challenge nowadays, I would say, because I'm constantly behind time. And also, just like give a little chocolate or something, which was usual. I used to give everybody a piece of chocolate for Christmas or Easter, but now you don't see anybody, and you cannot just gather chocolate and go around and drop it off by car or by post even. And also there's a challenge now that I wanted to send out something, for instance, to Africa, that you have this chocolate problem that it might be melting. So there's a lot of challenge in showing real gratitude, actually, and not going beyond the limit of compliance also. So I am grateful, and I'm showing my gratitude, but I am missing a little bit the aspect of really giving something to another person personally. Yeah. How do you
we
feel
go back to the
about that?
need of being physically connected, which is really a challenge for many people.
I want to ask something, if I may, Corinne. I want to ask Samantha something. So one of the things I do a lot, and I find that very fulfilling, is I mentor people, and I also meet a lot of women. I mean, like you talked about the 50 I met, I mean, at least, I don't know, 30 over the last 2 weeks since our last call. And one of the things you can do is giving something that is maybe not tangible as chocolate, but giving some piece of advice, giving someone, some attention, and that can also, I think, give them the feeling of, being important, that you care about them, and you share your wisdom with someone else.
Yeah, you're right, Limor. Yeah, you're right. I think this is something that happens on the go, but which could be stimulated more, wiseful. If you see that somebody is not reacting anymore, that you try to think of the why, maybe. And this is one thing that just happened to me today, because I'm reaching out to people a lot, I must admit. I'm reaching out a lot. And then there is feedback, but it's random. And I try finding out why is that the case. So why are there special people reacting, and why are specific people are not reacting, surprisingly, probably. Today, one person gave me something very important. He said that he is seeing everything that I do, and he's also sharing it even with other people, but he has no time and no power to reciprocate that by just answering me, like just with a smile or a hi or something like that. There's no response at all. Maybe because he wants to say more, or maybe he wants to show more, but this is already too much already again, right? So there is an underlying gratitude by this response too, of course. And sometimes you don't know that you have been reaching out to people and touching them because they don't respond, but yeah.
But that's a good point. We don't always know, which is why it's important to sometimes just reactivate the network, because then you'll be surprised how people actually really enjoy it. And some people are, like you say, either too busy or shy, or they don't think So it's kind of, can you tell us what you do? Because you came a bit late. And how did you end up on Power to Fly?
Yeah, well, I'm a lawyer in Germany, and I'm a
Okay.
patent lawyer for German and European law. I do mediation, and I set up an online arbitration platform together with the network, together with China and America. It's a global network. And we have a lot of meetings. And besides that, I'm involved with the International Chamber of Commerce. And so this is basically my work. I'm in intellectual property law and business law and so on. But of course, I also interconnect with a lot of people on another level, I must say, because I here locally, where I live in Karlsruhe in Germany, it's a city of law, where it's the very first constitution happening already 300 years ago. So there's Federal Court of Justice of Germany here, for instance, but it's a tiny little town. And I am doing a lot of work for the kids. So I try educating on culture and also on rituals like Easter and Christmas and so on, like Christian, but also other religious aspects of culture, not only Christian oriented. Yeah.
Very nice.
So,
Actually, Simona is also a lawyer, I think.
do.
So you guys can, I mean, first, everybody is welcome to stay in touch, but I think, Simona, you're also a lawyer, correct?
Yeah. I'm just, to be honest, I'm just writing the direct message to Samantha that I'm really excited about her interest, because I'm also interested in the EU law and business law. So it would be really nice to stay connected. Yeah.
That's great.
So-
Yeah, we can connect on LinkedIn too, right?
Well, the whole
I
idea is, I
can-
think, do we have all the LinkedIn connection, Limo, since you're kind of monitoring the chat?
Samantha, yeah, I just wanted to say, Samantha, feel free to share your LinkedIn URL in the
Yeah.
chat.
On the
And
chat.
what I can do, I can also send an email after this event and share with everyone who participated the LinkedIn URLs.
So we're coming to the
Yes,
end of the session. Now, I was thinking, and I wanted to discuss with Limor, so stop me if my idea is not relevant, but I was thinking that maybe it would be nice to meet regularly, because I'm a believer of connecting and practicing. And sometimes we don't feel like doing meditation or gratitude or something. But knowing that we're going to meet the girls and kind of have to report, it's like, oh my God, I have to do my homework. And it's also kind of a call of support, for every challenges, they're usually what they call a buddy. So if you need someone to go running, they kind of said, the same thing like, Limo mentioned, a mentor is actually a buddy. Someone who's going to help you on your career or whatever, improvement you want to do. So what I was thinking is doing a monthly meeting when we kind of stay connected. I'm happy to give different challenges because actually I'm following some of those challenges myself. And then I realized there are still new ones that we can take on in order to feel better and reach out. I don't want to say like easier, but kind of have less and less difficulty connecting to someone and said, hi, Angela, I saw you on the Power to Fly connection. I would love to stay in touch. And by the way, if you want to talk about virtual things, blah, blah, blah. Hi, Samantha, you're in Germany. I'm based in Prague. It's next door, Marta. So will you be interested in having a monthly get together follow-up meeting?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
And Marta, I know you're definitely with us. So Angela, you're also okay with that. Now, again, what would be nice, so I'm going to get your email because I'm better with email, the LinkedIn thing. So I'm going to hopefully get all your email from, I'm going to put you my email. Oh, it's on the PDF. So please send me an email. So I will have your email. Then I will kind of gather that. And the idea will be if you have any specific topic that you would like to discuss, I will structure it. I will bring a bit of information that we can discuss. But one thing I've learned is that regular meeting is what helps us grow together. I'm a member of 2 clubs. One, they're both over 100 years old. One is called the Rotary Organization. Anybody has, and I didn't put it yet, Angela. It's on my PDF. I'll send it to you. I'm going to write it down. Anybody has heard about the, I'm going to put it to everyone has heard about the Rotary Organization. Anybody knows what Rotary is?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the Rotary.
So Simona, that's how I met you, right?
Yeah.
Karine, I think we need to.
Yeah, we have to wrap it up. So what I'm trying to say is that, and I will send you the information. The other one is Toastmasters, which is public speaking. Those group meets once a week in order to really get momentum. So what I would like is for you, please send us some feedback. Tell us what you like, what you find beneficial and everything. Tell us what you would like. And then with Limo, we'll find a way to reorganize something. They want me to be an ambassador, I can organize that. And then we can really continue the discussion and offer a support group for anybody who would like to join. How's that?
That sounds
Karine,
wonderful.
I actually have a couple of ideas for our next meetings.
Okay, send it to me by email because Limo is very in a hurry.
I'll send
Everything by
it
email.
to Limor and you via email.
Yeah, send it by
you'll
email.
tell me
Limo
what
is
you
like,
think.
we have to stick. It's 31. I have 1 more minute. Anybody has a question or would like to share something? Angela, how did you like today's meeting? You liked it? So you can reach out to Limo for some of the virtual questions. You can reach to me for the virtual question. We're there to help and support each other and share ideas because, you know, from every different experience, we can contribute to each other's.
Yeah, and we'll definitely arrange more of those. Karine, you're incredible. We'll definitely want to utilize your skills and arrange more of those sessions. And we'll try to do them around the same time. So hopefully it will work for everyone. I think it's a great idea.
Wonderful. So guys, please, it was nice seeing everybody. Thank you, Limo. Limo, you and I need to talk about this on a more, you know.
Yeah, I'll reach out to you, Karine, and we'll schedule time.
Thank you for coming, Simona. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the week. Thank you, Limo. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
I'm on